Jai Hind students, welcome to my YouTube channel. Students, don't count the days. Instead, make the days count. That is, each moment you live must have a purpose. So strive hard in all that you do. For with love in your heart and trust in the Lord, every dream that you have will be fulfilled and can eventually come true.
With that positive note, students, let's begin today's session. Today we are going to discuss about rate of doing work, which is known as power. So actually power is the rate of doing work. That is, the term power measures the rate at which work is done. So it's a very important physical quantity. Now students, we are aware that the total amount of work done, this topic we have already done previously. Now it is important to know the time taken to do the work, whether it takes less time, that is it takes an hour or a day or a month, or it takes huge time, that is a year. Now let us consider a 500-liter tank to be filled by drawing water out of a well. Now if this work is done by manual labor, obviously a strong man can finish it quicker than a weak man. The strong man does more work in a unit time than the weak man. Therefore, if a motor-driven pump is employed, a more powerful motor will complete the job in this shorter time, isn't it? So here, more powerful motor does more work in a unit time than the less powerful one. So students, in many cases when work is done, we are not interested only in the amount of work done, but also interested in the time in which it is done. So, whenever a body performs work, then the important point is what time is required by the body to complete that work, isn't it? So, this physical quantity, which is power, it gives the measure of the speed or the rate at which work is done by a body or an agent. So thus, the power of a body or power of an agent is actually defined as its rate of doing work. So work done per unit time, right? So that is power. So power in fact is rate of transfer of energy. Rate of transfer of energy. So rate at which energy is transferred, that is known as power. We are aware of the relationship between work and energy, isn't it? So whenever some work is done, the energy is stored in the body, either in the form of its potential energy or kinetic energy. So rate of transfer of energy, that may also be termed as power. So suppose if a body or an agent performs work W, say in time T, then mathematically students, its power would be given by, let us represent power by capital letter P. So it will be given by work done per unit time. So this rate of doing work, that is known as power. So mathematically, power of a body or an agent can be measured by work done by the body or the agent divided by the time during which that work is done or completed by the body, right? Now let's find another mathematical relationship between the power, force and velocity. So for that, what we do is, we are already aware of the formula for the work done. Work done is given by the product of force and the displacement of the body along the direction of the force applied, right? So in case this is a body and suppose the force is applied on the body along this direction. So this is force and the body also get displaced along this direction. S is suppose the displacement. In such a case, when the body get displaced along the direction of the force, the work done is given by the product of the force and the displacement, right? Therefore, power, it would be equal to, substitute the value of W over here, work done is force into displacement divided by time. Further students, it can be rearranged in this manner, F multiplied by S by T. S is the displacement, T is the time, and we are aware the velocity of a body is defined as the time rate change in its displacement. That is, it is displacement which is S divided by time, which is represented by T, isn't it? So S by T is equal to V. Therefore, power is equal to F multiplied by V. So this is another very important relationship between power, force and velocity of the body under consideration. So students, power mathematically may also be defined as the product of the force acting on the body and the velocity of the body, right? So now let's discuss average power. Now, average power means when an agent or a machine operates steadily, constantly, performing the same amount of work every second, then the power it delivers is constant. So, there's no problem in measuring the power, right? That will be given by work done divided by time. But in case it works irregularly, means the machine, its power fluctuates from the moment to moment. At different instants, suppose the power of the machine is different. So in such a case, we talk of the average or the mean value of the power of the agent. In such a case, the average power of the agent is defined as total work done divided by total time taken. So average power is actually defined as the ratio of the total amount of work done to the total time taken. So this is how the average power is defined, right? Now let's concentrate on its SI unit. Now students, the unit of power is watt and it is named in the honor of James Watt, right? So the SI unit of power is watt. It is represented by capital letter W. Now consider on this particular formula, students. So 1 watt is equal to work done over time. The SI unit of work is joule. So it is 1 joule divided by time. SI unit of time is second. So 1 watt is equal to 1 joule divided by 1 second. So using this, we can easily define the SI unit of power, right? So students, the power of an agent is said to be 1 watt when the body or the agent is able to perform 1 joule of work in 1 second. So I'll write down the definition. The power of a body or an agent is said to be 1 watt. Watt is the SI unit of power. If it is able to perform 1 joule of work in 1 second. If it is able to perform 1 joule of work in 1 second. So that is how the SI unit of power is defined. There are some other units as well, some bigger units like kilowatt. Kilo means 10 is to the power 3. So it is 1000 watt. That is 10 raised to power 3 watt. Still bigger unit is megawatt. Mega means 10 raised to power 6 watt. There's another unit which is exclusively used in engineering and it is known as horsepower. So 1 horsepower. HP, it stands for horsepower. And students, it's a very, very important relationship. You should be aware of the relationship between horsepower and the SI unit of power, that is watt. 1 horsepower is actually 746 watt. So students, do remember these very, very important concepts. Again, I repeat students, we have discussed about work, we have discussed about energy. The energy of an object tells us the total amount of work that the body can perform without any reference to the time in which this work has been performed, right? So, again I repeat, the energy of an object tells us the total amount of work the body can perform without any reference to the time in which this work has been performed. The work can be performed by the body taking an hour, taking a day, taking a month, taking even a year. Energy simply represents the total amount of work that a body can perform. But in what time the work can be completed, it doesn't take any reference to that, right? On the other hand, power, students, it is the rate at which work is done and not the total amount of work done. I repeat, power is the rate at which work is done and not the total amount of work done. Actually, power is the total amount of work done per unit time. So actually, power measures the rate at which work is done. How fast a body can perform a work. That is measured by power. So quicker the rate of doing work, more will be the power of the agent, right? Now students, let us discuss the commercial unit of energy, right? The commercial unit of energy is kilowatt hour. It is kilowatt. Watt, as you are aware, it's the SI unit of power. Kilowatt hour. And it is represented as kWh, kilowatt hour, like this, right? So actually, to express large quantities of energy, a joule is found to be very small and as such an inconvenient unit. So therefore, to express large quantities of energy, joule is not used. Actually, a bigger unit of energy called kilowatt hour is used. And students, we are aware, power, just now we have discussed, it is equal to work or the energy per unit time. Isn't it? Power is the rate of doing work by an agent or a body, or rate of consumption of energy by a body. Rate means divided by time, right? So this is power. We are aware of it. It is rate of doing work or rate of consumption of energy. So from here, energy can be written as energy or work. It's equal to power multiplied by time. Power multiplied by time. Now look students, kilowatt hour, it's the unit of energy. So 1 kilowatt hour, it would be equal to 1 kilowatt, that is the unit of power, into time. Time is 1 hour. So 1 kilowatt, which is the power, multiplied by 1 hour, which is the time, that will give us energy, which is 1 kilowatt hour. Isn't it? So basically students, 1 kilowatt hour is the amount of energy which get consumed by an agent in 1 hour working at a constant rate of 1 kilowatt. So that is how 1 kilowatt hour may be defined. So 1 kilowatt hour is the unit of energy. So it is actually defined as the amount of energy consumed or the work done by an agent in 1 hour. In 1 hour, when the body is working at a constant rate of how much power? 1 kilowatt hour, 1 kilowatt power. When it is working at a constant rate of 1 kilowatt. Clear, students? So again I repeat, kilowatt hour, it's a bigger unit of measuring energy. Now energy from this formula would be given by power multiplied by time. So 1 kilowatt hour would be equal to power multiplied by time. Power is 1 kilowatt and time is 1 hour. So that is how kilowatt hour may be defined. 1 kilowatt hour is the amount of energy or the work done by an agent in 1 hour working at a constant rate of 1 kilowatt. Right? Now let us find out the relationship between kilowatt hour and joule. Remember, joule is the SI unit of energy, right? Kilowatt hour is another bigger unit of energy. Let's try to find out the relationship. So let us find out the relationship between joule, which is the SI unit of energy, and kilowatt hour. Right? Let's find out the relationship between these two. Joule is the SI unit of energy and kilowatt hour is another unit of energy. Now look, let's proceed with this statement. We know that 1 kilowatt hour, it is equal to 1 kilowatt multiplied by 1 hour. Let's convert it in SI. 1 kilowatt, we have discussed it. Kilo means 10 is to a 3 or 1000 watt, isn't it? 1 hour, let's convert it in SI, in seconds. 1 hour, it's 60 minutes and each minute is equal to 60 seconds. So 60 into 60, it will be seconds. So what you get is 36,000,000, 5 zeros, 3 and 2, and watt second, isn't it? We are aware watt into second, that gives us joule. Just now we have discussed 1 watt is equal to 1 joule divided by 1 second. So watt multiplied by second will give us joule. So it can be written as 3.6 into 10 raised to power 6 watt second is joule. So this is a very, very important relationship between kilowatt hour and joule. So students, remember this relationship. 1 kilowatt hour is numerically equal to 3.6 into 10 raised to power 6 joules. Right? So this kilowatt hour actually is known as board of trade unit. It is also known as the commercial unit of energy. So 1 kilowatt hour is called, or rather it is also called, board, B-O-A-R-D, board of trade unit, which is known as BOT, board of trade unit. That is, it is also known as BOT, B-O-T. B stands for board, O of T trade. So remember students, 1 kilowatt hour, it is also known as Board of Trade Unit. It is actually the commercial unit of energy. BOT, bought, or Board of Trade Unit. It is actually the commercial unit of electrical energy. It is commercial unit of energy. So students, again I repeat, kilowatt hour is also called Board of Trade Unit, that is bought. It is the commercial unit of electrical energy, right? It is simply known as a unit, one unit, that is 1 kilowatt hour is 1 unit. If in a household 30 units are consumed in a month, so 30 units means 30 kilowatt hour energy is being consumed throughout the month, right? So basically, in households, industries and commercial establishments, we make use of this unit, kilowatt hour, which is simply known as bought or simply unit, for measuring electric energy consumption, right? Let's take an example. For example, let us consider an electric heater of 1 kilowatt power. Now, if this electric heater is used for 3 hours, suppose, then how much energy is consumed? Then the electrical energy consumed would be given by electrical energy consumed. Now electrical energy, or rather energy, is power multiplied by time, right? Power multiplied by time. So it will be 1 kilowatt multiplied by 3 hour. So it will be equal to 3 kilowatt hour. And kilowatt hour is bought or simply unit. So 3 units. So basically, if an electric heater of 1 kilowatt power is used for 3 hours, then the electrical energy consumed by the heater would be 3 units of electric energy, or 3 kilowatt hour. So kilowatt hour is each unit of electrical energy consumed, or it is bought, Board of Trade Unit. So what is the relationship between the commercial unit of electrical energy and the SI unit of energy? It is 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 3.6 into 10⁶ joule, right? So students, in this particular session, what we have discussed is, we have discussed in detail about the power, right? Again I repeat, suppose a person does some work. Now his sense of fatigue is determined more by the rate at which he does work than by the total amount of work done by him. I will give you a simple example. If a man ascends a flight of steps in 20 seconds, suppose, he feels little fatigue. But when he completes the same ascent of flight of steps in 4 seconds, he feels much more fatigued. So basically students, in the latter case, that is when the person is completing the ascent in 4 seconds, then his rate of doing work, that is power, is 5 times greater than in the former case, right? So basically the term work done per unit time, that is power. And in many situations it is more important term, or more important to know what time a given work is completed by a body. That will signify the power of that particular body, right? So students, we are over with the topic of power. Then we have discussed the SI unit of power, then the commercial unit of energy, then relationship between the commercial unit of electrical energy and this SI unit of energy, right? So that's it for this particular session, students. And do join me in my next lecture, and we'll be discussing some very, very interesting numericals based on the topics which we have already discussed. So till then, goodbye, and do take very good care of yourself. Thank you.